Welcome to another episode of the Millennial Management Podcast. I am your host, Brandy, the Millennial Manager, and today we are going to be talking about triggers in the workplace. We've been discussing this on social media this week, in our lives, and then also in the videos. And then today, which is October 10th, is World Mental Health Day, so I just thought we could go along with that. I actually had no idea that this was this week. It just the post kind of aligned with that from something that I posted last week, so it just kind of flowed together. If you are not following me on social media, y'all are missing out. Make sure you follow me at Brandy, the Millennial Manager, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And then also make sure that you are following the podcast for updates. Let's get to it. I want to give a huge shout out to my follower, T. I'm just going to say T. He was able to secure Employee of the Month, and he also got a additional payment onto his check because of his duties and things that he's done inside of the workplace. So I just want to say congratulations to you. I think that is awesome. There is no such thing as a small achievement. All of it is going to be celebrated. So if you have something that you would like to shout yourself out, maybe you did a good job at work, send that to me and I will add it to a podcast episode, okay? Thank you so much. Let's get to our topics. Let's open it up. What is triggering you at work? Is it the way somebody is talking to you? Is it the way that someone maybe acts in the workplace? Are there some things that people say that kind of get under your skin? If so, it's okay, but we should always know that our mental health and our triggers are our responsibility. They are not anyone else's responsibility to maintain. Now, while we do have a responsibility to be nice and kind in the workplace because you want to keep that area positive, you are not always going to be around those type of people. And so you need to be able to maintain your composure, maintain your emotions, even when you are dealing with someone who is attempting to trigger you purposely, or it's not intentional at all, okay? Because they have no idea that this is something that bothers you. Now, before we even get started, I feel like this needs to be said. I hate that we even have to say this, but I just want to put out a disclosure. If you are dealing with any type of harassment, if you are dealing with discrimination, unfair treatment, if you're dealing with microaggressions, racism, transphobia, anything that is discriminatory inside of the workplace, this ain't for you, okay? This ain't for you. You need to go talk to an attorney, all right? This is not for you. If you are somebody who is dealing with things like that inside of the workplace, this ain't for you. You are dealing with something that's a little more serious, and you need to go and speak with an attorney, okay? All right, thank you. One of the most common emails that I have gotten comes from people who are mad that other coworkers do not greet them in the morning. They will say good morning and that person will not say a word back. And while it may be rude, you are triggered because it's bothering you. Why is this person not saying anything to me? It's rude, but now you feeling some type of way because this person has not spoken to you and you say good morning to them every day, so much so that you have emailed me about it multiple times. And let me tell you something. If you are triggered because somebody does not speak to you, you care too much. You care too much. If they are not speaking to you, you should continue to say good morning to everyone in the space and keep it moving. It doesn't matter if they speak or not, because it doesn't do anything to you. It shouldn't. You shouldn't let someone get to you that much that it is bothering you that they do not speak or say good morning when you say good morning. So what? Let them not speak because they are perturbed by you so much. Not speaking shows that they are bothered in some type of way. You walk in and somebody say good morning to you and you choose not to speak, that lets me know right now your feelings is hurt. You are emotional and your feelings is hurt and you mad and you want to show me, you want to get back at me by not speaking. So that just lets you know this person is emotionally immature, mentally immature, so immature that they feel like I am not worthy of a good morning, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to be the same no matter what they do. That is real maturity at work. No matter what somebody else is doing, you are still carrying yourself with grace and you are still rising above the bullshit at work. It doesn't matter if they don't speak to you. I don't ever want to see that email again, y'all. That one is a very popular one. I got maybe 7 about people not saying good morning. It just shows a lack of mental immaturity. And there is no need for you to see it as anything other than that. They are mentally immature and they are emotionally immature. And so they want to take it out and trigger somebody because they know it's going to bother somebody. You just happen to be that person that it bothers. So now you have to act like you don't give a fuck if they speak or not. Okay, move on from that. Another topic inside of the workplace that can be triggering would be gossip. I think this is right up there with like having bad managers because it can cause a lot of the same things. When you're dealing with a bad manager and you're dealing with gossip, you're going to experience isolation. You're going to experience emotional distress. It's going to be a lot of workplace conflict. Those things mirror each other. And so when you are experiencing things like this, my best bet or my recommendation, number one, is to always protect your mental health. Always. Now, to you, protecting your mental health may be quitting that job. Do I recommend that? No, because bills have to be paid. But if you are prepared to work any job and do what you got to do until you get your ideal place of employment, do it. Okay? Do what you need to do to protect your mind. However, if you do feel like you can mentally overcome this situation and kind of check out until you get the time that you need under this job and move on to a different role or move on to a different location totally, then I would recommend that. To be honest, I feel like the only time that I would not stay at a company is if my manager is somehow involved. If it's like a real problem with a manager where they are literally making my day a living hell or my life a living hell, and it's not micromanaging, like they are really harassing me, bullying me, those are the times that I would start my documentation trail and I would speak to an attorney about workplace harassment from a manager. I swear I would. If they are being rude, disrespectful, and you have some type of trail of the things that they have said and done to you, then I would 1000% speak to an attorney. And that's when I would consider my options of staying employed. But if it's just some coworkers, girl, these people don't sign your damn check. Okay, they don't sign your check. They are not putting any money in your pocket. It don't matter what them people say or what they do. It don't. It really don't. If you have a situation where you're dealing with gossip at work, the first thing I would do as soon as I find out about it is I would email the manager, the people who are participating, and the HR department. I need to have a meeting because there are some things that have been happening or has been happening with the group attached, and I want to get to the bottom of this situation. Let's stop it. I don't want it to go any further. And what that does is let them know, first of all, I'm not scary because you can't beat me up. All right. Even if you did try, I would call the police because I'm not fighting anybody. I will call the police in a minute. Do you hear me? And so I would have that meeting with them and write down and document every single thing. When you have gossip in the workplace, it has to be dealt with immediately by your management team and by HR. And they have to collaborate and want to shut it down. If they don't want to shut it down and they don't care about it, that lets you know everything that you need to do. This may be a figment of your imagination and you no longer work there in your mind. You're just going there every day and collecting the check until you get your next job, okay? But we don't ever want to put ourselves in a situation to where we cannot pay our bills and take care of ourselves or take care of our family because of a coworker. Like, this person has no bearings on me. This person has no control over me. And so when you look at that person like that and you're like, girl, I could give a two shit about what you say about me or what you think about me. It doesn't matter. But y'all have to graduate from that. I shared a video on my story about Vicki Winans, and she is a very popular gospel singer. And in this video, she said that she graduated from caring what people thought about her because it was such an important thing to her. It would keep her up at night. She was crying and carrying on, wanting people to like her, wanting people. And I struggle with that too. I struggled so bad with that. When I was in my late 20s or early 20s, like teens, early 20s, up until my late 20s, like literally until I was 28, 29, I struggled so bad with that. I wanted people to like me. I wanted my in-laws to like me. I wanted more friends, and I just wanted that. That's what I wanted. But then one day I realized that it does not matter what I do. It don't matter what I say. It don't matter what I wear. If you don't like me, you just not gonna like me. It doesn't matter. There is no amount of clothing that I can get somebody to like me. There's no style. There's no way that I talk to get somebody to like me. So why am I pushing myself in that direction? I'm running myself ragged to try to get somebody to like me. And I just don't give a fuck that much anymore. I don't. And that's how I ended up here. I saw that video before I had my son, my last child. And that was in 2020, January 2020 to be exact. And I had him 2 months later, but I saw that video and it just spoke to me. And ever since then, that is how I have maneuvered in any situation at work, at home, with my friends, with family, with in-laws. That is how I maneuver. I do not give a fuck if you like what I say. I don't care if you like how I dress. I don't care if you like how I talk. I talk the way I talk, and that's it. Now, let's talk about this from a management side, where your manager is triggering you, or maybe it's the company environment that is triggering you, whether you have ineffective leadership, which is causing a chaotic and stressful environment at work, or maybe you have one that is negative and of low morale. All of these things can trigger you. Okay, it can trigger someone to not want to put any effort towards things. Maybe you start to resent the job. Maybe you start to resent the people. You start to hate your job, and then you're spiraling. And so this is where, if you are dealing with an environment like this, your best course of action is to leave. Because it's not going to get any better. If you have a triggering work environment and it is coming from this, where it's more so lack of leadership, lack of support, ineffective leadership, lots of changes happening all the time, and there is never any consistency, nothing you can count on, that is never going to change. It's not going to change. Nobody's going to come in and stop that, because that is dysfunction, and that company is running dysfunctionally. And the people who are running the company, they love it like that. They like dysfunction because it is job security. If there is functionality really happening, what will they really do? And so you're triggered because of this, and really you need to start updating that resume, baby. 1,000%. If you are dealing with dysfunction at work, if you are dealing with ineffective leadership, you have to update your resume, because bad coworkers or irritating coworkers, you can kind of stomach for a little bit until you get out. But bad leadership, baby, you can't beat that. Okay? You can't beat bad leadership. You cannot beat bad management. I don't care how much people want to. You cannot. And all it's going to do is cause you so much stress, because they do actually have the power. They have the power to make your life a living hell. in more ways than one. And so if I were you and you were dealing with those things and you are triggered because of them, I would go ahead and update that resume because it is not worth your peace. Now, ways that we can manage our triggers, or first of all, even recognize where these triggers come from, is a damn therapist. Some of y'all is running around here untreated and undiagnosed, and you need to go see a damn therapist. Put that HSA card to use, all right? Put you some money back when you get your taxes. Go see a therapist, okay? Back in 2020, I used Talkspace, and it was so beneficial, all right? This is not an ad. It was so beneficial to me because I had a therapist that I can text. I had a therapist that I can do calls on while I was pumping and getting my milk ready for my baby. I was talking to my therapist to work through some things because I was struggling. It was my time for clarity. I needed that. And I'm telling you, you need to see a therapist. I be wearing my little YMCA shirt. No, I do not work at the YMCA, but I have a membership. My family, we pay $89 a month to go to the Y, work out. They have Pilates classes, yoga classes, kickboxing, and that's $89, and they have childcare there. So if you have children, you want to go work out, take them to the Y, okay? Take your behind and do something. Get outside, go for a walk, go see your pastor. It is okay to have a pastor and believe in Jesus and also have a therapist. There is nothing wrong with having those things, okay? If you are struggling, you need to utilize every tool that we have to make sure that we are, number one, healing, and then also number two, not making our trigger somebody else's responsibility. And so I definitely think that if you are someone that is struggling with these things, that utilizing therapy, number one, faith-based therapy, number two, also utilizing some type of method to or physical activity to reduce stress, like kickboxing or running or Pilates, like something to get that energy out. It is necessary and you should do it. Okay, we spend money on so many things, but when it's time for us to put some money back into us, that's when we say, oh, wait, I think, oh no, I can't. But we'll go and spend, $75 on something that we really don't need, where this is something that is necessary. And so take that time and invest in yourself. If you got to save up a little bit, do that too, but do it. Okay, don't wait. And there are so many free resources across the country, across the world, no matter where you live. They have numbers that you can call and you can talk to somebody. So use that time and use it wisely. If you are someone that struggles with thoughts of suicide, also make sure that you utilize the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Okay, the number is 988. It's live 24 hours. They have agents that speak English and Spanish, and so make sure that you utilize that resource as well if you are someone who is struggling with that. And now let's get to our first email. So our email comes from a Betty who is applying for a new job, and it reads, "Thank you so much for all you do for all of us who have forgotten our value. You gave me courage to give myself new opportunities." I love that, Betty. Congratulations. So her email goes in and it says, "I recently applied with a umbrella department because my current department was not investing in me and had me messed up thinking I would accept staying stale in my position. Now that I have applied to this other position in a sub-department, I have passed 2 rounds of interviews." Okay, congratulations. "And have been given the opportunity to have a final one with leadership. They offered the final round of interviews along with a timed in-person writing assessment that came out of nowhere. Oh, that was not mentioned in the job posting requirements. Is this legal?" Yes. Is it messed up that they hit you with that? Yeah, but it's totally legal for a company to conduct interviews how they see fit for that company. So Yes, they can do that. Keep us posted on whether or not you get the job. All right, so our next email, it says, "Hi, do you have any advice about allowing a manager and others at work onto my Facebook? I'm currently struggling with this. I don't know why. I don't know why you're struggling, because this is a very simple answer. And for those of you who follow me, you know what I'm about to say. I just unfriended all from work on my Facebook, but I feel the pushback is coming. My manager is not a good person and resents me for having influence with upper management. It's a mess. I just don't want her on my Facebook, but it may impact my work life. Betty, block them motherfuckers, okay? Block them. Block their ass, block their husband, block their wife, their sister. It's going to take you a minute. Okay, especially for your manager. Block everybody that's in a one phone radius of her ass. Block her and them. And then go through and block your coworkers. And it's going to be a peaceful time at work. She won't know the whys, or she'll be none the wiser. Okay? She won't know, because she won't even be able to pull up your name. It'll be like your Facebook is deleted, you're private, you don't have social media. And then make your page private. Okay? All right. That is not, you should never be friends with anybody that you work with on social media. I don't like it. I don't want to see it. I want to hear your story when you get to work. I don't want to see what you did, how y'all went out, and then you come to work showing me the same thing. Or what if I decide to call out and then post a picture of me being cute online? That's none of your business. Okay? That's none of your business. It is so personal. I just don't think that having people on your social media is good at work, because people are nosy as hell. They're going to be looking and seeing, and who is this that you post? That ain't none of your damn business. Yeah, I saw you posted that you went, Y'all know what I want y'all to know, and you will see what I want you to see. Period. The end. Do not be friends with your coworkers online. Do you hear me? Say yes. Thank you very much. And now to our next email. It says, "I currently work for an agency that is very toxic and hostile. The agency and the ones they report to know the culture of this facility. Yet they want us all to fill out employee surveys at the end of the year, in addition to rating the supervisor. Lord have mercy. I participated in the surveys before, only to be retaliated against, although they say the surveys are autonomous. However, we are given codes to enter when doing the surveys. So how is it autonomous? It's not. No, baby, they know exactly what you're saying. So when I stop doing them, now the agency sends someone to the department saying or asking why you're not participating, etc. This person relays the information to HR, who we know is not for the employee. To me, it's to hear what you have to say to build a case against you. I still don't say anything. The issue is the manager has pitted employees against each other in the department by gossiping about employees to certain employees. The person displays unfair treatment, favoritism, and also workplace violence. Lord have mercy. So many EEOs have been filed against this person, and the manager was found guilty in many instances of his behavior, especially towards African Americans. But the agency holds on to this manager and tries to protect him. Real quick, y'all remember in that live the other day when I told y'all that the company will always defend the managers? Even if they're wrong, they will defend them. HR will defend them, even if they are in the wrong. Lord have mercy. The manager loves to stir the pot and uses third parties to attack an outspoken employee who speaks up about wrongdoings, but the agency creates a action plan. It does not include the manager's behavior, making it appear that it's only the employees who are gaslighting, bullying, or intimidating others. Now the agency wants the nurse manager to select an employee to present the action plan for this department. Remember, it does It does speak about the nurse manager's action plan to correct his behavior. He said that if he does not get any volunteers, he is going to select some. Can he force me to present? Secondly, I have some issues that trigger me due to being mistreated by this same manager. The action plan discusses my triggers. Oh, Lord. Also, is documented medically and the agency is aware. I want to protect my mental health and well-being, and any input or feedback will be greatly appreciated. Dear heart. The first thing I would say is that your manager or this company is using some interesting tactics to control you all. Number one, mandatory surveys, no matter how anonymous they claim them to be, they are not anonymous. Them giving you codes lets them know who is putting in what, and they're able to trace the response. And then through that, because they're making you all fill those out, it can bring on retaliation. Like you said, just feelings of being threatened because you're not participating, or that you are participating and you didn't necessarily say what they wanted to hear. So now they're going to actually make your life a living hell at work. They are really going out of their way to protect your manager 1000%. The agency has continued to support this manager even through some very problematic behavior, numerous complaints, and legal findings. So they are standing behind a man. This is their man. Okay? That's their man. And they are sticking beside him. It does not matter what y'all do. They are not going to do anything until it costs them money. Somebody's going to have to sue the company. They're going to have to hold the company liable, and the company is going to have to come up off of some of that bread. That is the only way that you are going to see a difference, or where they're going to sever the relationship, because if it don't cost them no money, they don't care. They don't care about it until it costs them money. That's when it's a real problem. Now, you have already said that there have been other cases filed against this person. So you could go that way as long as you are ready to quit. Okay? As long as you are ready to quit. If you know that you are wanting to file a discrimination case under equal employment opportunity laws, I would go ahead and make sure that I'm on my way up out of there. Okay? Make sure you have some documented evidence of what has been happening in the workplace, as far as him being able to force you to take a mandatory survey. Unfortunately, companies can do a whole lot. They can do a whole lot. And so making it mandatory means that it's company policy. So if you say no, you have to have some type of reason, some type of accommodation. And if you don't have something that's protecting you, like a FMLA, or maybe some type of accommodation that can stop you from being able to participate in that, then you would have to take it. I'm sorry. You could violate company policy or hope to God that he selects somebody else and has another victim. But I would say that I would prepare for my exit. Okay? This does not even sound like a place I would stay another day in. But I know that I got to pay my bills. So you got to figure it out. Okay? You need to make a decision. Do you want to stay in this type of environment? This manager has had several cases on them that vary. Okay? What is that? This is not a company I would even want to work for. So I would imagine that your resume is up to date. If it is not and you need some help, message me if money is a problem. But girl, please get up out of there. Absolutely not. All right. And this is our 4th email today. We putting them in today, y'all. Okay. This one says, this is the first time that I'm listening to you and I love it. Well, thank you, girl. Welcome, baby. Welcome. Few questions. What do I do if I have a manager that does not care? Oh, I got an answer for that. I work at a famous super center and I am a front end team lead. And I find myself reminding my coach to do mandatory items in our cash office. And they sometimes come up and sometimes that's it. I think she meant sometimes it does not. But the email did not finish. But so far, Melissa, I'm going to answer your question that you have is, what do you do when you have a manager that does not care? And I'm going to tell you, if your manager does not care, then you don't give a fuck. Okay? You ever listen to the Young Bloods with a Z on the end? If you don't give a damn, we don't give a fuck. Hey, that's a song. And that is also a meaning for your life. If somebody don't give a damn, you can't give a fuck because you're not going to make them care. You can't make somebody care about them doing their own damn job. That's their job. That's their responsibility. I got 2 teenagers. You think I'm finna remind them about doing their chores because they want money? Hell no. If you want money, then them dishes better be put up. Them dishes better be clean. That bathroom better be clean. You better have done your chores. And that's with a child. So I for damn sure am not reminding a grown person to do their job because that's what they get paid to do. And if you don't like getting paid, then you need to move up out the way and let somebody else take that position. But if you got a manager, they're not doing what they're supposed to do and you're having to remind them to complete tasks that's their responsibility, I would just not one day. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing because you don't work with this person every day. What the hell do they do when you're not there? Okay? So if I were you, I would shut up and let the chips fall where they may. All right, y'all. It has been a wonderful episode as always. I want to say thank you. My TikTok and Instagram, Facebook accounts have been just taking off. Instagram is at 100,000. I am so thankful, y'all. Thank you for streaming this podcast, sharing it with your family, sharing it with your friends. I appreciate the reviews. I appreciate everything, and I couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. If there is a topic that you would like for me to discuss on the podcast, make sure you email them over to themillmanagementpod@gmail.com, as well as if you have any questions and would like your email to be featured on the bonus episode, or maybe you would like it featured on the main episode. So make sure that you are following the podcast so that when new episodes get updated, you are aware. And then that's it. I don't have nothing else. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And I will see y'all on the internet. Bye-bye.